Hey everybody, and welcome to another Cricut craft tutorial. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Just hit that big red subscribe button down below. I would love to have you as part of my crafty family here on YouTube. And just so you don't miss out on anything super fun, you can head over to my website linked down below and sign up for my email newsletter. I'm going to be posting a lot of really fun things there. I like to remind you guys about cool videos that we've done and any really exciting sales, especially if we do any more mystery boxes or some exclusive sales for you guys. You'll find out about those in the email list. So today's video, we are going to learn how to glass etch a mirror, and it's really hard to give you guys a good view of this because it is so reflective, but this thing is really fun. It's easy to do, and it's something that you can do for really inexpensively. This mirror was only $1 at the Dollar Tree, and then I just used some vinyl to create the stencil. So let's get started. We'll go over to Design Space, and I'm going to show you guys how to load in your stencil and make sure that it fits. In Design Space, we need to upload the image that we're going to use to etch our mirror. So what we're going to do is click Upload, Upload Image, and Browse. What you'll want to do now is find the folder that you put your image in that you want to use. So I'm using one of my floral frames, so I need to go into my floral frames and find the flower. I know I want to use flower 26, so I want to make sure that I choose the one that is the Microsoft Edge HTML document. This one is specifically an SVG file, even though it shows as an HTML document. A lot of people's computers do this, so just be aware of that. Go ahead and select that one, and we're going to go ahead and click Save. Now we're going to insert the image into our Cricut Design Space by clicking on our image and clicking Insert Images. The circle that we're working with is about 6 inches round, so I'm going to go ahead and make a little template. I'm going to just open my circle up, and I'm going to change the size to a 6-inch circle. Now we're going to size down our flowers, but you can see that they're going behind our circle, which is not what we want. What we'll do is go ahead and right-click on your circle and click Send to Back. That's going to put your circle behind your floral image. Now I'm going to size my floral image down, and I do want to size it down a little bit under 6 inches because I do want it to sit a little bit below the frame, so I don't want it to sit right on top of it. It's going to be a little harder to etch if I have the vinyl all the way around it like that. So now what I want to do, I think that looks pretty good for sizing. I'm going to do a couple little tricks for when I go to put this on my mirror. First thing I want to do is I'm going to size my circle down just a hair. That way I have a little bit of an edge around it for when I lay it on my mirror. The next thing I'm going to do is slice the bottom of my circle off because I don't need it. So I'm going to take a square and I'm going to lay it down here and I'm going to unlock it. I'm going to cover up the bottom of my circle, just making sure I don't cut off any of the floral image I want to use. I'm going to select the circle and the rectangle by holding Control and clicking them both in my Layers tab. And then I'm going to use the Slice option and just click that. What that's going to do is it's going to slice the bottom off of my circle and leave me with this super handy little circle. What I'm going to do is go ahead and select this and click Send to Back. Now that we have this all set up, just to make life easier, what I'm going to do is select both of these and I'm going to attach them. What that does is it lets Cricut Design Space know that I want the image cut out of this little half circle. It's going to make it easier when I go to weed it and to apply it to our mirror. Once we've done that, we've got everything sized, we're ready to go. So all you have to do now is click Make It. We're going to use StarCraft HD for our stencil. It's really easy to work with. It's super simple and it really cuts nice, crisp lines. So we're going to cut this on the vinyl setting. Just go click Make It, click Continue, and it's going to bring up your cut options. I just cut this on the regular vinyl setting. So we're ready to go cut this. I'm going to let you guys watch this cut. I will weed it, and then I'm going to show you guys how to apply this to your mirror, and then we're going to etch our mirror. We're going to use StarCraft HD as our stencil. So all I'm going to do is go ahead and load this into the machine. I moved it over on my screen so that it would cut over into this section, which has full pieces of vinyl over in it. And then I'm going to let you guys watch it cut. Now that we finished weeding this, what we're gonna go ahead and do is put it on some transfer tape. This is medium tack, my favorite transfer tape. I'm putting this face down, and then I'm just gonna cut out the square where this is, and roll the rest back up. Now I like to burnish mine from the back and then from the front just to make sure it's well held down to our transfer tape. Simple as that. And then I flip it back over and I take the backing off rather than take the transfer tape off. Especially with small lines, I find that this really works the best and it really gives you really good results. Now we did lose a piece or two here because this is really small and detailed, but that's okay. So all I'm going to do now is lay this down on my mirror where I want it. I'm actually going to, you know what? Let me trim my transfer tape closer to the edge here. So remember I told you because this was round that putting this down was going to be a little bit difficult and that we were probably going to have to trim this really close. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is trim my transfer tape really, really, really close. And I'm just going to do the edges of the top. I'm not going to actually do the side or the bottom here. That way we have somewhere to grab the transfer tape to take it off. So now I know you guys can probably see like a crazy reflection of the ring light and all that in here, but there's no other way to do this. So all I'm going to do is lay this down on my mirror where I want it. And then I'm going to go ahead and burnish this down. Now this is just a mirror from the Dollar Tree, so it's not some like high quality piece, but it's good, it's cute, it'll work for what we need it to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this down. And then I'm going to take the edge of the transfer tape and I'm going to peel it off. And we're just going to go ahead and go around and around and around, making sure that all of our little pieces stay down. Perfect. Now I'm going to bring out some painter's tape. I'm just going to put a little line of painter's tape down here at the bottom. I know it's kind of hard to see with the ring light on, but without it on you guys can't see anything. So all I'm going to do is just take a little bit of painter's tape and I just want to give myself a little bit more of a space down here at the bottom so that none of the etching cream gets any below where we want it. So that just gives us a little bit of a border. Let's get out our etching cream and our brush. We are going to use some Armour Etch and etch our mirror. So all I did is I shook it up a little bit and I'm going to go ahead and get this open. Now this jar I've had for a while, but it works really, really well. And you want to make sure that you shake it pretty well before you open it. And all we're going to do is take a paintbrush, and this is going to be a paintbrush that we're going to throw away when we're done, so just don't use a really nice paintbrush. And all I want to do is make sure that I cover my entire stencil with this etching cream. So we'll put a good generous amount on, and you want to make sure that you don't go outside of the stencil. So I've got a little bit of an edge over here where I could potentially get a little bit of this cream outside of it, so I just want to make sure that I don't do that. And you want to make sure that it's covered really, really well. Don't worry if you didn't cover it great the first time, because we'll go in about 5 minutes and we'll move all of our etching cream around to make sure that everything is well coated. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all coated, and then like I said, we'll let this sit for 5 minutes. Then we'll come back in and move the etching cream around and we'll let it sit a little bit longer. The bottle says 5 minutes, but I like to let mine sit for much longer just to make sure that it takes really, really well. So once we're done with this, then we'll rinse it off. It's been 5 minutes, so I'm just going to come in, and what I want to do is just move my etching cream around a little bit. This is not necessarily like you don't have to do this, but I do find that I end up getting a much more even etch if I do move this around a little bit. That way it covers any spots that maybe I might have missed. It also kind of gives any spots that might have a little bit less cream on it a chance to get more on it. So you just want to move it around a little bit, and you can see you've got some thicker areas. You can move some of the thicker stuff to some of the thinner areas, things like that. But it's just a way to kind of make sure that you've really covered everything. And if you see any spots you missed, you can grab those now. I do see a spot that I might have missed, so I just want to make sure I cover that. And once it's etched, it's not really going to etch it any deeper, so you don't have to worry about it like etching through your glass or anything. I've seen people ask that question quite a few times. Will it eat through my glass? It will not. It won't do that. Don't worry. That's Totally false thought. It won't eat through your glass. It can only etch so far. But you don't want to leave this on like overnight or anything. And you do want to make sure that you do wear gloves while working with etching cream. You don't want to get this on your skin. So I do always recommend wearing a pair of gloves. I just have some ones I got off Amazon. I'll link the ones I got down below for you guys. They do tend to go out of stock quite often right now. But definitely these are the ones I recommend. I use them for my epoxy, for when I do glass etching. I use them all the time and I'm really, really pleased with them. So again, I'm just kind of making sure that all my spots are covered with etching cream. So once I'm pretty satisfied with the fact that everything has a decent layer on it, I'm just going to kind of go over and make sure everything is covered. There's a little corner over here. I just want to make sure that I get. And then I'm going to let this sit again for probably 10 minutes this time. That way it just has a lot of time to activate and work. And then I'll take you guys over to the sink and I'll show you guys rinsing it off and cleaning it off, and then we'll have this beautifully etched mirror. I'm doing my best to get you guys a good angle, but it's really, really hard. And keep in mind, this is again from the Dollar Tree, so it just has like a cardboard backing. Now we could probably take that off, but we're gonna just chance it. So what I'm gonna do is just turn on some cool water. You don't have to be anything crazy. It doesn't have to be like super hardcore. And just rinse this off. And as you see, I'm rubbing my hand on it, kind of in a circular motion, just to get all of the etching cream off. And if some of the vinyl comes off, that's fine. We're going to remove the vinyl as well here in just a minute, but I do want to make sure that I get all of the etching cream off of the mirror. And it may not look etched right now, that's okay. It's because it's wet, so once it's dry, it should look etched. So once we're pretty confident that we got all the etching cream off, you can go ahead and turn the water off. And I'm going to go ahead and dry this bad boy off before I take all of the vinyl off of it. Again, we're just working with the cardboard backing, so this may not be the best. Like you can see, like it's popping off. That's fine. We'll work with it. We can always fix it with some glue later. But again, welcome to the Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to dry that off a little bit. And let's go back over to the craft room and we'll take all the vinyl off. So now for the fun part, we are going to reveal our design. Now ignore the fact that the mirror is dirty. And it's still a little bit wet, but that's okay. And again, it's Dollar Tree mirror, so it's fine. Not the end of the world. Now you can use your pin pen to help you out here to get your vinyl peel started. But because this has a lot of little pieces, this might take a little while to get it all off. And once we do, I'm going to show you guys the full design. But also, like, it's trying to come off. See, it got all wet. We're going to re-glue it, so don't worry if that happens. But see how wet the cardboard got? No worries, we can fix it, it's fine. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this all peeled off and then show you guys what it looks like. Here is the finished mirror. Isn't that cool? I know you guys can totally see the camera and the ring light, but it's really hard to get a good shot of a mirror without getting all the good reflections. But look how cool that came out. And it's so simple to do. And again, just with a Dollar Tree mirror, you can really jazz it up a little bit, add some extra touches to it, and really make it your own. Now remember, you want to make sure that you are wearing gloves while using glass etching cream, and you want to make sure you do this in a well-ventilated area. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. Let me know what your favorite Dollar Tree blank is down in those comments as well. I love messing with Dollar Tree stuff to make it a little extra special. It's a great way to start out with crafting as well. That way you're not spending a ton of money on blank products. I hope you guys had so much fun checking out this really fun glass etching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and happy crafting.